Hello, Quokkalings, and all. How you all doing this lovely Tuesday evening? It's your boy, it's your head chef Nanashi speaking. I hope you're all having a wonderful start to this lovely week, and what is essentially the first week of this year. I hope everything's going well. Hope you're eating well, staying healthy, all the usual jazz. We're gonna try to make this the best 2025 we can possibly make it. So let's all do our best together. Dustin, welcome back to the stream. Sea Lantern as well. Thank you for coming by. I know there was a bit of a delay today. I apologize for the brief delay. We did have a bit of traffic on the way back, coming back home today, for several reasons or another. So it's what it is. We had to start a bit later, but here we are. For those watching right now, I am getting a sort of notification from my YouTube side here saying that the configuration that I have today might not work. I think it might be because I set the stream latency to something different this time, and it's telling me my resolution doesn't work with it. So if there's anything weird or wrong, do let me know during the stream, because then I can try to fix it as soon as possible. I would appreciate that. Thanks, Quokkalings. Sea Lantern, Mr. Man on YouTube. That's me. I'm the man on YouTube. How's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Okay, so with that in mind, today's going to be a bit different. We're going to be playing one of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy XI. Now, there is a few caveats to it, I will have to say. So, back when I played Final Fantasy XI, so actually, first of all, for those who don't know, Final Fantasy XI was the original online version of Final Fantasy that everyone played before 14. Now, it is more traditional in the sense, in my opinion, of a classic MMO adventure, because you level up, you party up with friends. It's still the same for 14 these days. I believe maybe with more freedom of movement. Don't get me wrong, you still get to move around and explore the world in this game, but the fighting is a bit different. It's like comparing it from WoW to like something else different. You'll see today. It's a bit different than what you're used to seeing in, I guess, most modern MMOs, but because of that, it does give, in my opinion, some of the more interesting gameplay of an MMO that I've seen, at least. And it's part of the reason why it's still one of my favorite games of all time, next to Suikoden 2, Trauma Center, and a few other games, for those who didn't know. League of Legends, I don't know if I can put it up there anymore, because I demoted a bit. But yeah, so I want to show you this experience from the start. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this as well is because recently Final Fantasy XIV has dived, I guess not for the first time, because they had an 11 event a while back with one of the characters from 11, but it wasn't a full-blown content, you know. This time around, they released a full-on raid involving Final Fantasy XI. So my goal here, if possible, and if you guys keep up with me, is to kind of show you the experience of 11, and maybe hopefully encourage you guys to take a look at 11 at some point too, because it really is a fun game. And of course, show some of the places that pop up in the raid, ideally on stream here. So that's the plan. How long it'll take to get there? It might take some time, because again, this is a classic MMO. You do have to do some work to get into certain places. For example, this game does have a fame system, so the more quests that you do for certain factions or certain cities get you more fame, and those more fame means you can pick up more quests that involve, like, say, spell scrolls. Like, you might need a teleport scroll that teaches you how to teleport to a certain place, and the only way to get it is to do it through a quest, and to do that you need to get some fame. So there's a bit more work involved in this, I would say. That's not to say 14 doesn't have work to be involved into, you know, maybe perhaps getting, say, a relic weapon, or perhaps a ultimate clear. There is still work in there, but this one, I don't know how to describe it other than it's the classic MMO work that you would want to put into a game, I guess. You'll find out. We'll see. I'll show you when we get into the game. Dustin mentioned it is a rough game, and I will not disagree with that, because this game actually is a bit difficult. There is some elements to the game that you want to, I suppose, know ahead of time. Usually when I try to introduce this game to my friends, I do have to give them a few caveats, like there's going to be leveling. This game does require partying. Now that one is a bit different nowadays, because the official servers of Final Fantasy XI do run off a single player experience now, I guess is the best way to put it. So in the game, there's something called trusts. They're NPCs you get summoned to fight with you, and nowadays that's what replaces your party teammates, and that's cool and all, especially where the state of the servers are now. It's a lot harder to actually, to actually find a party of people nowadays. So the trust system is amazing, but apparently this server too, because there's a lot of people who play on the server, want the party experience again, that they were able to experience previously. So, which brings me to my next point. We're going to be playing on a private server today. Now, I know it's not the most official thing. I'm ashamed to say it, but this server does try to maintain the partying aspect of it while keeping things rather balanced and updated. So it'll be interesting today. Hey, K9, welcome to the stream. Nanashi, Wuthering Waves is finally on PS5. Is it really? Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. That's gonna look real nice. I still haven't picked it up. I will eventually hopefully do so, but I do have a few gacha games that I do need to play still, so maybe one day. But I'm glad to hear that you're excited for it, K9, and I hope you have fun with it. I imagine you had an old account, right? Like on a different system that you're able to pull up on the PS5. If so, I hope you can pull it up there. Okay, so back to the conversation. For the we're gonna play on a private server because, like I mentioned, the original servers that are still up, unfortunately, kind of have to be done single player and with very minimal team play, which is, okay, but that's not what we want. We want to. I enjoy the team play. It kind of builds friendships. That was kind of the main thing too. Like, now that I think about it, because of those parties, I was able to meet some of my oldest friends online because we all work together to work towards some sort of goal. And it's it's a classic experience, I guess is the best way to put it. So without further ado, let's pop it over to the start of it. I already created my character. We're gonna log in ahead of time though, because I have another character that's my main character on the server that I can't exactly show off. I prefer not to, so let's pop them over here. Oh, there's no intro anymore. Okay, well, shoot. I just realized there's no intro. Okay, well, that's fine. Music's really loud. Hold on, let me fix this. I guess the in-game music settings are set up to be per character, not global, so that's a bit different for me. Let's see. Third person camera. I think I did both inverted. That seems right. Okay, we'll try that first and we'll see if that changes anything. Let's see. I never played Wuthering Waves before. Oh, okay, so you get to try out this time around. Okay, cool. So that's cool. I'm glad that you're able to give it a go for yourself. That'd be awesome. Also I got Malvika, but that's not important. I mean, that's pretty cool though. It's a gacha game still, right? So as long as you got the character that you like, then that's awesome. I'm excited for you. Cool stuff. Demidog's back as well. Happy New Year's. K9 also wished us a Happy New Year as well. Happy New Year to all of you as well. Excuse me. It's an exciting start to the new year. Let's all do our best this year too. I think we're gonna get everything in the bag, right? So okay, so I've noticed I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the global settings that I have would not carry over to this new character. So I'm gonna fix a few things real quick here. There we go. Make it a little easier for you guys to hear. Let me know if it sounds a bit off, too loud, etc. I'll change anything needed if needed. I think that's how I had my camera set up for this. Something feels off. I guess we'll try it later and see what else is different, but for the most part, nah, actually that does feel off. Hold on, let me fix the camera real quick. Have any of you blah, 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 blah. Have any of the rest of you played Final Fantasy 11 before? If so, tell me your thoughts about it, and if not, I hope you enjoyed this experience with me, because we're starting from straight up level 0. Normally there would be an intro, kind of just like popping you into the world of the game, but unfortunately, it would seem that well, since this is a private server, they had to set up so that you don't have to see the intro anymore, which is okay, you know. TLDR, we started in the city of Winders, which we'll see in a minute here. Very beautiful and pretty place. Oh wait, actually before I forget, I just noticed the chat does show up a bit oddly here, so let me pull you guys over here today. There you go. And I hope that looks a little better. Well, our quokkaling is kind of in the way too. Why don't you chill here today? I'm in the way too. Let's move it over here. There you go. Now you can see my health bar. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I've always wanted to do this, you guys. You have no idea. Like, Final Fantasy 11 is straight up one of my favorites. Let's see. Demidoc says, if you think getting Mavica isn't important, it tells me that you got it very easily, pretty quick, unlike me. Understandable. Maybe. It could be. Happy New Year to you, Demidog. Happy New Year's to Sea Lantern as well. Yes, exchange those New Year greetings. I'm excited. I'm glad that we all are here in this lovely New Year, starting all these new games. I have a list of games that I want to play. I know I've been playing a lot of League, and I explained that it's because the rank season is ending soon, but... Okay, let me give it to you TLDR. I got to Platinum 4. I was super happy, and I wanted to try to climb it back into Emerald before the end of season. But as it turns out, my luck ended. And after an unfortunate series of losses, I am currently back in Gold 4. Once I hit Gold, once I demoted back to Gold 4, I felt absolutely no need to play the game anymore. It's not a rage quit. It's more like I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time to get back into this Platinum, and it's not worth my time, especially if they're resetting pretty soon. So that's okay. Now that what that means though is that we can play more like a bunch of other games. We played Marvel a few days ago. We're playing Final Fantasy 11 today, and you know what? I'm happy about that because, I mean, I'm sure you all know too, League of Legends is an experience. It's not for everybody, and it does change some things in you sometimes, you know. Demidoc says, I've never played Final Fantasy. Is it good? It's a wonderful game. It depends on which one you play. There are currently 15 out there. 16? 16 out there. This is a this is the original online version. This is 11. It's really fun. classic average League experience. Yep, that sounds about right. I'm wondering, you know, because I've never really got to get into Valorant. I want to try to play more Valorant this year, but I'm wondering if, because it is Riot still, right? I don't know if the system is still the same. Oh, you know what? We have an important thing to do here before we pick up anything else. Let's see. Any plans for Minecraft? Absolutely. I was thinking of, I see your progress, Elanton. I know you've been running around the world still. I know that the server is still up too, and I'm paying for it, you know, so I know it's there. Yeah, I would absolutely want to do a Minecraft video and stream again sometime soon, so keep your eye out for that. Demidog says that's why I dropped League. Yeah, you know, it's understandable. It do be like that sometimes. Oh, Fanelia, Pagi. Oh, wait, no, Malam today, right? At this time, at least. Selamat malam. How's it going? Happy New Year, by the way, to my very cute foxo friend. Please don't eat me. And don't toss me in the stove too. Benelia has been threatening me with unsettling messages of throwing me into an oven, cooking me, so please don't do that. Seems old. It is pretty old. So this is Final Fantasy XI. This is the OG online experience, for me at least. And what an experience it is. So right now, I kind of sidetracked from showing you around the city, but I mean, this is kind of necessary for us Quokkalings. This is the Culinarian Guild. Now, there's a bunch of crafts you could learn in this game, as you can see on the top left there. There's a lot of things you can learn. A lot of them actually work into each other, but another reason why this game is so loved to me is because realistically, unless you have a lot of time, you're not going to be able to max a lot of these skills. So you usually pick one or two and we'll level them up together so that they coincide with each other. For me, for this character, well, clearly, obviously, we're picking up cooking, right? Because we are the master chefs here. We're going to cook everything for everyone in this world because food is actually pretty important in this game. Gives you buffs and stuff. Other than that, fishing, because fishing makes sushi, and sushi is a great item in this game, and it does make gil, so, you know. So we're going to talk to this guy here. No, that guy, Rampy. Rampy Montby. If you want to taste our cooking, go try the restaurant across the way. The food we make here is served at the restaurant there. Oh, you're not the guild leader, you're the guild leader. Huh? Have I met you before? This is the Culinarians Guild. As you can guess, it's an association for professional cooks. That's what I want to be. We're signing up. Well, it's done then. Lately, a lot of adventurers have been signing up to learn. Here, study a little crystal synthesis with this. Noise. Crystal synthesis utilizes that energy to cook individual ingredients into a finished dish. But it's not as easy as it looks. If the cook can't visualize the finished product properly, he could fail, wasting all the ingredients in the process. And that's no good, right? That sucks. So you want to gain as much practice as possible. Only a cook who understands the very essence of his ingredients can make truly exquisite cuisine. It's true. Start with the basics and gradually build yourself up. If you need recipes, your fellow guildsmen can tell you how to make delicacies from all around the world. And so that also brings me to another point of this game. Nothing, even with the intro that was skipped here, nothing is exactly given to you from the start of this game. This was around the era where strategy guides and other things were available. So you either had to pick up a strategy guide to learn like all the recipes, or you had to do some legwork, talking to the NPCs here and seeing what they can teach you and what to cook. Because let me show you real quick. As far as synthesis goes, you need a crystal of an element. And what that crystal does is it'll let you open up a menu here that you can use to combine items in your inventory into something. And there are recipes. So one that I have off the top of my head, because it's the basic recipe that you want to learn as a culinarian first, you need, I think it was bird eggs, lizard eggs, one of the two, and distilled water. And you need a fire crystal. So you heat up the water to boil the egg, and then you get a boiled egg out of it. It's great. Ideally, we'll get some of those outside of town, but that's how crafting works. In this game, it's also, in the sense, old in that you have to rank up your skills. So one craft of like boiled egg doesn't necessarily mean you'll skill up in the cooking tree. It's a chance. So you might have to cook a bunch of times before you go up 0.1 of a level. There is work involved in it, which is, you know, what it is. This game is older than me, lol. Is it really? I don't remember when this game came out, but I do remember it was around my childhood years too. I think the old aspect of this game gives its charm. It is. I think honestly that is also what it is. This is slightly modified. This normally doesn't run in 60 frames. But there are tools nowadays to help it run a lot better. And I think this server in particular is also using slightly modified assets, so it looks a little bit nicer. Look, it's a fellow cook. Okay, so it's gonna sound confusing at first, Demi Dog, because we don't have the ingredients yet, but TLDR, you need crystals to craft, and to craft what you want to, you need you don't need like a physical recipe, but you have to know what goes into the thing you're trying to cook. So for example, we're gonna need a bird egg and distilled water to make a boiled egg, so we're gonna have to find those later. Now luckily a lot of the shops, for at least for starting out, you could actually talk to, oh, this is another oh man, I forgot. So this game also has an in-game clock, server time. So during certain server times, on the bottom left there, you might see it says 20:45 at the moment. So there are shop hours. Sometimes things are closed. That's how they restock their stores. It's another, I don't know. It's just like something else that makes the world feel alive, because sometimes you miss the store. You might have to wait till the next day to start shopping again. One that's slightly more interesting as well. If you notice, there's a teal looking circle at the bottom left too. This game also does have cycling days. So right now, if I recall, that would make it either water day or ice day. Now, why that is important is because there are some aspects of the game that do require you to focus on what day it is. So for example, if you're a summoner, you have to fight the primals either one-on-one or with a team. The one-on-one fight is pretty difficult, or at least it was when I did it. And to give you your best chance of beating, say, Ifrit, the fire primal, you probably would want to fight him on Water Day, where he is the weakest. But if you also fight him on Fire's Day, ooh boy, he's gonna punch you real hard. So I don't know, it's just these little things that you learn in the game that make it super awesome, in my opinion. Let's see, this sounds like the plot of a Breaking Bad with the crystals. No, we're not cooking today in that way, dog. Demi dog, no. It's not time to cook. Not that type of cooking either. I'm sorry, what I said was unexpected. No, it's okay. I love Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are some of my favorite shows too. So you're welcome to talk about Breaking Bad here. We gotta cook, Jesse. And then Tuco going like tight. Not cooking on a cooking channel. That's the wrong type of cooking, Sea Lantern. We don't cook those here. We cook delicious, yummy food for your tummies, not drugs. Otsukira-san, konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? Yo, atarashi game desho? Final Fantasy 11. Genki da yo, yokatta desu. Yeah, we cook idiot sandwiches here. We do cook idiot sandwiches here. And in fact, that's a great idea, Demi Dog. You know what? For April, now that you've said it, for April or something, I'm gonna make sure that one of our streams is an idiot sandwich. I don't know what goes into an idiot sandwich. We'll make it work. Oh, that would be a cute thing to have on our VTuber model at one point. Maybe we can make like an idiot sandwich skin or something. 明けましておめでとうございます。ああ、こちらこそ明けましておめでとうございます。今年もよろしくお願いしますね、おつきらさん。They wished us a happy new year, and I said happy new year to you too. And I hope you will continue to support me this year too. 今年もよろしくね。Oh, こちらこそお願いしますね。ありがとう。Demidog says, oh no, they're planning to put me in the idiot sandwich. No, we're not going to put you in the idiot sandwich. Probably. Maybe. We'll see about it. Maybe I could write little like sticky notes and put them into the sandwich and it'll have your guys' names on it. There's a lot of things we could do with that idiot sandwich idea, but I'm glad you mentioned it. We're going to do it. Okay, so as a level 1 character, I can cook, but we don't have the ingredients right now. And we also most likely do not have the gil right now, so we're gonna have to make some money. It's a hard life being an adventurer, especially at level 1. But that's why we learned crafting. Baby Nanashi did not know this when starting this game, when he was a wee quokka. Baby Nanashi didn't know about crafting, and when it was time to get new gear, he had no gil and he got stuck. But now, older Nanashi knows how to do these things and how to figure things out. So, you know, I need $1. True. Oh man, my cough's still there. I went the whole day without coughing too. That's a shame. Oh, that's right. Okay, so when you start this game, you choose a class and a place to start, and a race. You know, classic character selection. So I chose the outfits and hair that looked as close as it could to our character. There's not very many choices. Again, classic game, not many choices, so it'd be like that. But today, I'm gonna start with something new. Normally, I'd start like a warrior or a thief to kind of help with fighting. We're gonna do something a little bit different this time. We're gonna start as a mage. So today, and if you notice on the top left, we have started as a white mage. There's several reasons for this. Doing a little thinking, the white mage leveling might make things a little easier as far as people who need healers, as far as parties go, and then they do get a range of spells eventually that include things like sneaking and invisibility, which is kind of important if we want to get to places. We don't want to. There's a lot of aggro in this game, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Enemies in this game aggro through sight and not smell. They'll track you with smell, but they'll only aggro you through sight or hearing. Some enemies have true sight, some enemies have true hearing. In our case, we should be able to protect ourselves from the regular mobs that, you know, pop in and say hello. They should make a chef class. This sounds like Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, in a classical sense, it kind of is. There's a lot of things. There's a lot more creativity in this game. I'll have to say that 14 doesn't quite have, in regards to maybe like a classic MMO. In the newer, I mean, it makes sense though. Nowadays, it's kind of harder to pick up MMOs, and people would rather have it fast and, you know, action paced. So, which is fine. But in this case, it's a little much slower, and there's a lot more work that goes into it, in my opinion. So, okay, with that in mind, let me go ahead and start this up. So, when we start, we do get a starter weapon, an onion rod, which we're about to equip now. Great start. That will help us melee things. There's a bunch of things in the menu here that we still need to fill out because we don't have any items for it yet. In this game as well, when you try to learn spells, you have to have the corresponding scroll to learn it. Now, once you learn it, you're good forever, and as far as that spell goes. So once we learn this cure, we can use cure whenever we want to, and we don't have to use another scroll for it. Now, that being said, you might notice here that this spell is shared across other classes. For example, white mage, that's us. We learned that spell at level 1, but as a level 3 red mage, which we can play, we can switch over to it. We can also learn cure, and as a level 5 paladin, same thing. We can learn cure, and a scholar. Which that class unfortunately isn't available yet in this server, but maybe one day, eventually. Does the onion rod make enemies cry? Yeah, it does. Make them cry with the power and smell of onions, and we bonk them on the head. Either way, it's gonna make them cry. So yeah, since we are a level 1 white mage, we're gonna go ahead and use this, and that's gonna teach us our first rinky-dink spell, cure. And for those Final Fantasy fans who know, it just cures and restores our HP. Kind of important for, you know, staying alive, especially when we start the first 10 levels. The first 10 levels is going to be solo, because nobody typically parties until level 10 in this game. So, Ina, welcome to the stream. I love your cat peeking out from the box. How you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful start to your year so far. And Happy New Year, too. You haven't been wished that yet. Akemashito, omedetou gozaimasu. Okay, one more thing we need to get before we start beating up some bees and mandragoras, as you're going to see. We need Signet. So Signet in this game is something that's bestowed upon by the gate guards of the cities. What it does is it lets us extract crystals from enemies once we defeat them. And they have to be easy prey or higher, which Well, I'll explain in a bit here when we go outside. But let me just turn on one more setting here because I do want to know when it will run out. There's probably a miscellaneous. Timers. Let's fix this real quick. Macro palettes. Okay. That should do. Okay, so there we go. There's a timer on the top now, so we know when it's gonna run out. Buffs do run out, you know, so we gotta be careful. Yana says, "Arigatou gozaimasu." Kochira koso arigatou gozaimasu ne. And do you speak Japanese too? No worries if you don't. I speak both, so we have a few Japanese speakers in the audience today, so I kind of switch between the two. I hope you don't mind. Okay, we're here. This is the outside of the city. That person is being aggroed, and I should probably help them actually. Oh, there's two. Oh, she's fine. She has 72 health, or she's 72% health. So that is aggro. If you notice, there's two Yagudo chasing a poor person into town. If you get aggroed by these things, these ones in particular, the Yagudos, they aggro by sight. They will chase you, and if they're higher level, they will absolutely beat you into the ground. The starting enemies here, the Mandragoras, they aren't so aggressive, thankfully. So we'll have to deal with that. But that's how we're gonna fight first. Oh, someone leveled too, though. Let's go. Oh, someone examined us. We worry about them. And I just know very few words. That's okay. No worries. That's awesome. Is English your primary language? It is mine. I just learned a little bit of Japanese in college and school, you know. They look like Chow? They do kind of look like Chow, don't they? I never thought about that, actually. They're super cute. But unfortunately, we do have to beat them up to level up. So let me guys show you a few things first. So in this game, you can check your enemies. If you notice down the bottom left, and it'll tell you. It looks like an even match, easy prey, incredibly tough, and there's a few others, you know. So even match typically means you could 1v1 them with the right circumstances. So in this case, we could 1v1 these Mandragoras. As it gets a little harder though, as your level increases, the level next up would be like tough, very tough, then incredibly tough. Those three in particular, tough you can maybe manage if you're really careful and you have healing spells. But above that, you do need a party to kill it. And that's where you get the most EXP. You can solo this all the way up, but it just takes a lot of time, and partying makes it a lot faster. Let's see. You had me at beat up cute things. We're not gonna beat up all the cute things. Only temporarily, because we need to level 2. Actually, this one just killed all the Mandragoras. Let's see. Yeah, English is my second language. Oh, is that so? That's awesome. What's your first language? That's amazing. Your English is awesome. Okay, so they look fine. The nice thing about this game is you can also support random people with like random cures and things too. It's kind of nice, you know. Here, we'll just toss them a cure. Why not? A little cure. Uh-oh, that's not supposed to be there. Shoot. No problem. Okay, so yes. Curing is very nice. We should be able to cure ourselves so that we don't die in the middle of fighting things like this. So combat in this game in particular starts out with... Actually, let me disengage and show you again. So we have to target something. Bring up the menu and press attack. That'll bring us into a fighting stance. And to fight these things, we just run up to them, give them a little bonk. At least starting out, that's how it is. Our gameplay is going to change a bit differently once we get to level 10, because we're primarily healers. So usually we're going to be staying in the back and curing people so that they stay alive and they make us EXP. You might also notice that on the menu, my club skills and evasion skills are increasing. So in this game, fighting and casting magic does increase your skill points in that corresponding skill. So for cure, I believe it was like restorative magic or something. And that time I didn't get a skill up, but it's really dependent, you know. It's kind of random at times, but the more you use your skills, the more skill points you get into it, and the more proficient you are using it, you know. Let's see, Spanish. I speak very broken English, but I'm better at typing it. Lol. That's okay. That's awesome. Then we also English is also my second language. Oh, let's go. What was your primary then? Yeah, Ina asked the same thing. Yeah, let's go. Yo hablo poquito, pero en mi restaurante. Is that right? So, en mi lugar, the work. What is trabajar? En mi restaurante, yo trabajar con amigos de español. That sounds kind of weird. My Spanish is very broken, but it kind of gets me through the work day. Just enough, you know. Dongska, I'm from a very small country. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. How do you say idiot sandwich in Dongska? You teach me. I would like to know. Is it still idiot sandwich? It probably is, huh? But yeah, I was fortunate enough to learn a bit of Spanish from like high school. Then high school to college, I was studying Japanese, so that's how I got there. La comida que tú haces son muy deliciosos. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. Muchas gracias. If you'd like, feel free to try the recipes on your own and give it a try too. I want to make more videos at some point, so hopefully you'll see more recipes coming from Ina or Enna. Okay, so you might notice on the bottom right, we are kind of losing health and HP, HP and MP. So in this game, it's recovering those things are a bit different. Oh, we're asleep. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. It should be okay, but excuse me. So, recovering those things require a bit of rest time, and part of learning this game is also knowing when to rest. So we're gonna beat this thing up, and then we're gonna take a little sit down and recover our HP and MP. The times that you get to do it is gonna vary between people. When you start partying, nice. Okay, so we're gonna rest real quick here. So when you fight in parties later, which hopefully I'll get to show you sometime soon, party play requires a bit more timing. So you want to cure as a healer, you typically want to cure just enough so that your tanks and your party is okay. And if they look okay for the rest of the fight, you can go ahead and take a knee so that for the next fight they pull, you'll be ready as well. It's a lot of balancing in this game. You just have to kind of know when to do things. As you progress further, you learn more things as well. So to get there, we just have to get to level 10 first though. So one of the other things in this game that is pretty awesome, I will say, this might be a bit preemptive of saying as well, but there is a... How do I explain it? This game involves subclasses, I guess is the best way to put it. So eventually, there's a quest at level 18 where you can unlock what's called a sub job in this game, and that's the game changer in this game, to me personally. When you get your sub job, you're allowed to equip it while maintaining your current main job. So, for example, if I was a level 15 Y mage and I wanted to sub job, say, ninja, I would be it would take half the level of my main job, which is white mage. So at that point, my ninja, it would be a level 15 white mage, level 7 ninja. Now, why that makes it so interesting is because anything you could learn in that class up to anything you can learn in that class up to that level that you have it as your sub job, you can apply to your current main job. So for example, let's take that ninja example. As a ninja, you can learn dual wielding at, I believe, like level 5 or level 10 or something. And so if you're a level 10 or a level 20 white mage and you sub job ninja, you can use dual wielding as a white mage, which makes it really cool. So you can, in our case, I guess we'd equip like 2 rods or something, and that'd be kind of jank and interesting to see. But there are really cool builds because of that, though. It kind of increases the amount of creativity you can have in this game by combining different classes that don't normally work for each other. For example, say typically a dragoon, right? Spear knight, dives from the sky, does a lot of damage. Typically, you wouldn't want to combine that with something like, say, a white mage. But some circumstances require you to be able to heal while you're fighting something as a dragoon. It doesn't happen often, but you can do it, which is really cool. And if not to make my point even more clear, for dragoon in particular, you get a pet dragon as part of your class, and if you have your sub as a white mage as a dragoon, your pet dragon that can actually throw out healing breaths at you, as opposed to their normal fire elemental breaths, which is really cool. So it's not exaggerated when I say this game has a lot of creativity that you can apply to it, which is really cool. But to get there, we do have a bit of a journey ahead of us. In our case, we need to first, our goals will be hit level 18 so that we can unlock our sub job. And then second being hit level 30, which is where we can unlock all the other advanced classes, which is like paladin, not any of the 6 base classes that you can learn. Hey, we leveled up, nice. And guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna beat more bees. Ina says I zoned out for 5 minutes. I'm sorry, that's okay, no worries. Today we're here just to relax and farm and gain some EXP before we start partying. So I'm trying to just introduce the game as much as I can to you too. So if you have any questions about the game, do let me know, and I'll try to answer it as best as possible here. Okay, so you might notice I am checking the abilities weapon skills page every so often. At a certain club skill, if you notice we're already at 4 now, we get a weapon skill. Now, weapon skills are things that you can, it's a skill that you can use in fights to kind of, it depends on the weapon skill, but usually it deals damage. The important thing to that is that when we start doing team fighting, maybe not as white mage, but as other classes, knowing how to use those weapon skills in conjunction with your teammates becomes important, because combining weapon skills into a teammate's weapon skill can cause additional effects that can damage the enemy, unlock things like magic bursting, for example. Black mages in this game, after an elemental skill has been used, can cast their magic with the corresponding element to deal even more damage, which is awesome, amazing. But yeah, so there's a lot in this game that you just kind of have to learn over time. Oh, it's gonna headbutt me. It didn't stun me though, so that's fine. That's cure. Cool, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of different things you can do in this game, and again, It's gonna not seem like much at the start, or it's gonna seem very complicated at the start. To the game's defense, I'm kind of explaining everything a lot sooner than most people would learn it. The game does kind of drop you into the game without any sort of explanations. You kind of have to figure out things on your own. But oh, see? Okay, so we learned Shining Strike. So we have a weapon skill now. That makes us a lot more dangerous now. So we can use, if you notice on the top left when we auto attack, there's a TP gauge, and when that hits 1,000, we're able to use our weapon skills. The higher you have it, the more damage or more variation it has. Some of them let you paralyze enemies, and depending on your TP level, it paralyzes them for longer, that kind of thing, you know? So let's go ahead and use it for this one. So weapon skill, Shining Strike. Woohoo! Okay. Not so flashy. It is our first weapon skill, but eventually those will get flashier as things go on. Let's see. I'm getting Zelda vibes from the graphics, honestly, or in the game in general. Yeah, I can kind of see that. It kind of does feel like Kokoriko's, like OG Kokoriko, right? At least this city is. So in this game, you can start between 3 different cities. I personally am a Winders fan. This is the city I always start in. It's like all tree and nature like. It's nice. But there's also 2 other main cities to start in. One is Bastok, which is like a minor city. And the other is San Andoria, which is like a duchy, like a castle town, I guess is the best way to put it. Better cure ourselves a little. I know you guys can see the cure in the middle of the screen too. That's actually an add-on in this game that helps us keep track of our cooldowns, but I'm trying to move it, but it disappears before I can actually go ahead and move it, because cure has a pretty low cooldown. Shining Strike! Get bopped. Okay. Oh, we're poisoned though. We can't rest while we're poisoned. Or can we? I think they might have changed that. So the server does have some server-specific things. Oh, we can't. Okay. One of the more important ones, I think, is I don't think you can die from poison in the server. Normally, the original game is pretty rough. It actually, if you're poisoned and you reach 0 health, or at least like 1 tick to 0 health, they will kill you. So. Kind of rough. Okay, let's check our progress so far. We're level 2. EXP looking good. Slowly but surely. The first hurdle as a white mage is getting to that level 10 because you're not really offensively geared, right? You're a white mage. You're supposed to be curing things, not exactly fighting things. So we're not gonna, it's gonna take a little bit longer than say someone who's training with a sword to get to 10. Which is fine. That is how we want it to be. Well, actually give me 1 second too. I think I got a message here. Okay. It seems I have to do something real quick after this. In addition to needing to use the restroom, so once I'm done with this fight, if you don't mind, Quokkalings, I'm going to use the restroom real quick and actually get that thing that I mentioned done real fast. So we don't have to look at it later. Okay. Get bonked. And you know what? Might as well try leveling up our cure while we're at it, or our skill. Oh, there we go. Okay, healing magic skill 1.1. Not very much, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, those add up. So, you know, we take those. Okay, Quokkalings, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I'm just going to put the screen up. I'm going to use the restroom, grab something real quick from the door, and we should be good to go. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, Quokkalings. I am back. Alright, so let's get back into this. So, what were we talking about? We are talking about leveling. So, we got a bit more to go. It's gonna take some time. But with our signet on, that's also gonna give us what's called conquest points in this game. Now, what that does is it'll let us trade in some points with some early gear. That's pretty nice. In particular, there's these rings that they have that you can trade in for that let you kind of EXP up a bit faster as well. Ideally, we'll go ahead and get one of these as well. But we'll have to see. Let's see. Oshigoto shite kuru. Oh. 頑張ってね。頑張りますよ。ありがとね。あとお仕事ものを頑張るな。ありがとね。Please do your best at work today, Otsukira-san. You got this. どうぞ今年もよろしくね。ストリームとか vtuber ものとかありがとな。Okay. Oh no, it's back up. I need to get it. No, I can't see the cursor. Okay, well shoot. Maybe I can cure again, try again. Let's see. I think it was here. Okay. I could have sworn the way to move that thing was like holding the middle click, but it seems I might be wrong. How do I move this menu? I'll have to figure it out later, I guess. Demidog says, sorry I couldn't answer your question. My power went out, and with that, my Wi-Fi also went out. Ooh, sorry to hear that. It does happen. Welcome back, though. So yeah, feel free to answer the question if you'd like. I think Ina is still around, so feel free to let us know what your first language was. We're still here just leveling and relaxing. It's all good. After a bit here, I'm going to have to fight those Yagudos, and they're a nasty bunch. But I do have Cure. So my confidence levels there are not too... I think we have a chance of beating them. Let's say that. Let's see, how do I move this? Oh, okay. This one I can move at least. So that one was left and middle clicks. Oh, sorry, left and right click. So hopefully it's the same for the cooldown menu in a minute here. Can't wait to get my sub job. The sub job really does unlock a whole aspect of the game that normally most people don't know about, because it does take a little time to get there, but it's definitely worth it after. And of course there's, you know, a whole quest dedicated to unlocking it, which involves us fighting a bunch of hard things to get treasure that we trade into the NPC to get our sub jobs, so we'll get there. Dog 2.0, hey, welcome back. Main account dead, alt account in. It'd be like that. It's Taksuke Banachu, by the way. I don't know. I'd never heard that language. That's awesome, though. Oh, wait, that's right. It's dogs. That's not. That's Idiot Sandwich. Nice. Taksuke Banachu. I'll take it. I'm learning something new every day. Thank you for teaching us, Demidog. I hope you didn't teach us anything really weird, but I'll have to take your word for it. Oh, look, we got some wind crystals. Okay, sweet. So that's... Oh, no, I forgot to move the... I had to move the menu. So wind crystals are going to be nice because that's a lot of... I think that's a main staple for bone working. And we can find some bones around here, too, if we're lucky. Let's see. So we're level 3. 7 more until we can start partying. I suspect we're not going to hit 10 until the end of the stream. It does take a little bit of time to get there, especially since we're playing solo. It is what it is for the moment, but You absolutely butchered it, but it's close enough. I'll take it. What am I pronouncing wrong? What? How about you type it phonetically and I'll see if I can read it out properly. I suspect I'll butcher a lot of things I don't know about language-wise. I have a family member that was trying to learn German. And sometimes I read out what she's trying to learn. And I absolutely butcher what I say. Darn, I can't move the menu. The weapon skill one moves just fine, but I'm not sure why the other one doesn't. I'll have to figure that out later, I guess. Okay, let's see. Sage Banatsu. Is that right? Sage Banatsu. Idiot sandwich. Ina says, I'm sorry, my phone literally died, so I had to leave it charging for a while. No, that's okay. Ina, thank you for popping back in. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Demidog, to our earlier question, is telling us how to say idiot sandwich now, so you're just in time for the lesson. They also had a power outage and they had to come back. So, welcome back, both of you. Yes, you got it. I got it. Okay. I hope I really am saying idiot sandwich and not something really rude. But then again, I have no really real way of verifying, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it, Demidog. Sage Banatsu. Idiot sandwich. Yowaimo, I think. Are you saying it's weak? Yowai is in Japanese is weak. And mo is like also. So you're saying like also weak. I mean, idiot sandwich is already very rude. I suppose that's true. Well, there's like, oh, I missed. Oh, happens. But there's like rude, but then there's also like not really good to say things out loud, right? I guess is the best way to put it. You can be telling me something incredibly, I don't know, racist, and I wouldn't know. But I'm trusting you guys enough, you silly quokkalings, to not teach me something that I'll accidentally get mugged over. I don't know, I learned that from Gojo. Ooh, respectable. Yowai, oh, it's probably Yowayo. Like Yowai W-O, whoa. So like, what a context would be? I would assume that he's calling someone weak. Like Yowai, or maybe Yowayo? Like Y-O? It could be Yowayo. Like, you're weak. You are weak. Respect, I also learned some Japanese from anime. I mean, honestly, anime is a really good way to start getting yourself into the language, you know? I can safely say a good, like, 60% of my grammar and, like, my vocabulary came from anime because I kept watching it and learning what meant what, you know? I know my Gojo lore and he said mo. If that's the case, then it sounds like he's calling someone else, like you're saying, telling someone like you're also weak, which I could totally believe him saying. Come here, tiny mandragora. We're gonna give you the onion rod. Yeah, yeah. You're not so cute like a chow. Oh, that's kind of been hidden behind the thumbnail, huh? I can move that to the left after the next time. Yeah, he was? Okay, there you go. I'm assuming that's what it means. It's probably correct too. Japanese is fun. Learning languages is fun in general. There's something about knowing someone else's like language that's, I don't know, incredibly satisfying. I just wish I had more time to learn more, you know? For me, while we rest, we could talk about it. For me, I enjoy... Well, you know what? That's not entirely... So I guess in the grand scheme of things, I know English, Indonesian, Japanese, and Spanish, which actually that's a pretty solid amount of languages to know. And some of them are, I mean, the majority of them are relevant in my daily lives, right? Indonesian for my family stuff, Japanese for family and school stuff and personal like hobby stuff. Spanish for my locale, so it makes sense. I want to learn more, but I guess now that I'm saying out loud, I think it might be better for me to just continue improving on the 4 that I know. Well, English is my main language anyway, so I guess I don't really know how to improve there, but in other cases, yeah. Oh, this guy's getting kind of low. So if you notice on the bottom right, we can see his health, and we notice he's getting low, right? So we can give him a cure or two. Oh, it's aggroing me. I might actually die from that if he's not paying attention. Oh, I'm dying. Mistakes were made. I'm not curing him anymore. Is he gonna die? No, it's fine. So in this game, there's something called enmity as well. So enmity, if you are fighting something and someone decides to give you a really fat cure, they can get the aggro from the enemy that you're fighting. Like you just saw just now, and I almost died from it, but it was worth it. We were helping and curing people. He actually almost died. Look, he's at a quarter health actually. So our cures are curing for so little so far, but it's something. But what this does let us do is increase our healing magic skills. So, you know, win-win for both of us, really. Okay, I can't move this menu, it seems. So for now, it is what it is, you know. I could have sworn there was a way to move it, though. Now I get to restore MP. Ina says, I should use Duolingo now after leaving it for 2 years. I use Duolingo every so while too. Now, I don't know how good it is as a complete learning experience because I've noticed it's very vocab heavy, which is good. You know, you should learn vocab and what things mean. But it's a good tool. I will say it is a decent tool for what it gives you, you know. You should use Duolingo again. He's been staring creepily at me from my what do you call it? My phone apps. He's been getting quite unhinged over time, from what I can tell. Bien hecho, Nanashi. Oh, I said arigato. Muchas gracias. Y usted, I think. Is that, and you too? Oh, y usted también. Is that right? I think that's right? Like, and you too? And you as well? I think that's right. That sounds right in my brain. It's probably wrong, though. Come here, tiny mandragora. Actually, now that we're 3... We're level 3. We might have to pop back in town to see if we can get some new spells. Luckily for Winders, you can... Winders is kind of like the city of magic, I guess, because all the Tartaru live there, and they're very magic oriented. Let's see. Yeah, or you could say igualmente. Both mean the same thing. Oh, okay. Nice. Good to know. Thank you for teaching me. We shall learn together. Please teach me the ways. Okay, I'll move this up here so you can see too. Yes, teach me the ways of the Espanol, please. I'm not that good, but I'm willing to learn. So what do you say? Well, when you say igualmente, is that the whole meaning, like and you also, or do you want to say like y usted igualmente or something, like a combination of it? Is it just igualmente? Ooh, even match rabbit. I think this one might be tough, but let's give it a try. Oh, first hit is a miss. That's gonna be little dangerous. Okay, something else this game also has. Oh, that hits rather hard. I think we might have to run. Yeah, okay, no, this thing is hitting way too hard. Let's get out of here. So, if you're in a situation where you can't finish off what you're fighting, it's best to know in this game where the nearest zone is so that you can kind of run away and escape. Luckily for us, the city gates are just right here, so we can just kind of run it away. But when you get into larger areas and maps, it gets a little tougher. Ooh, it hit us one more time before we got in. It's a good thing we had enough health. You know what? Actually, no. Let's practice our curing while we're at it. Yeah, it means the same thing. You don't have to combine them both. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Ina. Igualmente. Now that I think about it, there's multiple versions of Spanish you can learn too, right, though? Because there's Spanish from the States, which is what I know, and I think there's Spanish from Spain, right? And that's completely different from what I understand. You know what? Let's see if we can buy a... Oh, we don't have that much treasure yet. So you can NPC things for treasure and get some, like a tiny bit of gil, which is not too bad. The crystals we kind of want to save for crafting. Do we have any gil? Let's see. We have 10 gil. Okay, never mind. I don't think we... I was gonna say we can visit the auction house and see if we can bid on like a really cheap scroll, but I don't think we have enough gil for that either. And actually, for that matter, I don't think I can even sell this Mandragora, but yeah, we can't. So on the item, sometimes it'll say like EX or rare. Now what that means is there are quest items that you need to keep in inventory that are classified as that. If you see either of those, I do believe that means you can only have one of them in inventory at a time. And usually that also means they're not sellable. So we really only have crystals at the moment. That's kind of a bummer. We're gonna have to fix that in a second here. Yeah, I've heard people, Ina says, yeah, I heard people say different words about something that I usually call something else, and it bothers me for some reason. I mean, that's understandable, right? It's something that you know in your language might be slightly different in a similar language. So, and it just kind of, it might bother you a bit, like, oh, huh, I wonder why it's that. Or like, you know what I mean. Oh, look at that. There's a cure party in the chat there. Looking for members, cure, burn, white mages, which is what we are. We need to join a burn party. So the undead in this game, like classic MMOs, do take damage from light magic. So some clever people decided to band together and try to do like a burn party, where it's like you go to a map with a lot of undead with like that party, it looked like it was 4 white mages and 2 summoners. Then you blast the undead with like white magic or like skill chains with white magic, so that does a lot of chunky damage. Nice. I'm gonna go get some food. Be right back. Oh, nice. What are you gonna eat? I hope it's good stuff or snacks. But yes, feel free to go. I hope you enjoy your snacks. I will be here. Don't you worry, for a bit longer at least. Let's see. This was a really evasive bee. Then again, like I said, white mage isn't exactly the most fight heavy and efficient kind of job for that, so if anything, if we had a scroll for something called Dia, that would make things a little easier. That decreases the defense of the target, and it does do a little bit of damage too, and damage over time. So you know that would help with clearing these, but we do not have the gil at the moment. It sucks, but it is what it is. Get that bee. Smack him right on the head. These bees can be nasty too, actually. For those who are fans of the Final Fantasy series, you might remember bee enemies sometimes have this really nasty move called Final Sting. These ones have it too, which is really scary. It's their TP move. We get TP moves, but so do they. And it does exactly what you think. It does a huge chunk of damage at the cost of their life, because it is their final sting. And it is very tragic for both us and for them if they ever use it, because normally if we get final stinged, we're usually dead. Unless you're like a fighting class or something, usually if you get final stinged as a mage, you're gonna have a real bad time. And you don't even get the it's like the final bees like FU. Because I think that I don't remember what it happens exactly, but I'm pretty sure the EXP you would have gotten from it fainting from its final sting wouldn't apply to your EXP, and it just dies. And so it's extra painful because you lose EXP for dying. Good times. Oh, we're asleep. Okay, that's fine. So sleep in this game can be cured by either getting cured by somebody else or by being hit by a damaging ability. So the Mandragora gave us a little headbutt, and that woke us back up, which is good. But that Dream Flower, that does hit AoE in like later parties, and if your casters are standing too close to the AoE of those Dream Flowers, they can also fall asleep. And so there's no other way to wake them up other than getting them damaged, or by having someone else who's awake cure them, and that causes some issues too. So you gotta play some range as a mage. You gotta be a bit further back than most people to avoid that kind of problem, you know. I think we have a decent amount of TP. We might be able to give something a bit harder a good bonk. I will say, for those interested in playing this game as well, it does require a decent amount of patience. There's a lot of waiting in this game at times, which is why I kind of introduced it to my friends as a good like side game. If you're working on something, saying when you start partying, you're gonna have to be a bit more involved, obviously. But in this case, like say right now, like when you're leveling your first 10 levels, you kind of said it auto attacks you automatically, and your interaction will be minimal at the start, which is okay, you know. Fishing involves a small mini game whenever you fish, so whenever you get a hook, some music starts playing, and you have to reel up the fish that you get. But in between casts, it does take a little bit of time sometimes too. So it's a nice way to level. Nice. It's a nice way to how do I say? It's a nice way to kill time too and progress in something while you're at it. Speaking of, there's a quest in this game that I'm notorious for like doing all the time because it's just so ridiculous. And as a fisherman, a person who really enjoys love, well, that's a really tough Yagudo. We're not touching that. It's a person who really loves fishing in games. There is a quest to get the second best fishing rod in the game, which involves catching 10,000 moat carp. 10,000. It's so many. And I'm proud to say, across private servers and the official servers, I've completed that quest, I think at this point 4 times. Oh, that Yagudo's looking less funny. Move back a little. So I'm moving back a little here because that Yagudo aggroes by sight. And if he gets a glimpse of me while I'm fighting this thing, it's gonna definitely almost certainly kill me while I try to run back to town since it's level 8. So, probably good that we stay away from it for now. It is quite high leveled. This one, though, we can give a good bonk, though. Here, take a bonk. Hey, we got a skill up for that, too. Nice. The things out here aren't really dropping anything yet, though. Crystals are fine, sure, but they're not really dropping anything else that they usually do. Beastman seals are nice, too, for later fights. Oh? Oh. It crashed. Okay, then. Hold on. Let me set it back up. Well, shoot. That happens. Okay, let me get that back up there. That's the first time in a while. I haven't seen that happen in a bit. That's unfortunate. But luckily, it's pretty easy to get back into this server. Okay, maybe not yet. Our server, our original character is still in the world and it has to disconnect first. But other than that, it usually doesn't take too long. So let's just chat for a little bit here. What are you all up to? Y'all excited for the weekend? Actually, funny enough, I will be driving out this weekend for a convention, a local convention, which is pretty fun. Oh, did I tell you guys? Oh, such a bummer. So I decided I wanted to order and have a friend help me make my VTuber outfit, like the one that you see here. And it was done. It was ready. I was excited to wear it for the convention. It was gonna be great. Unfortunately, it would seem that some porch thieves had a different idea of who that package should go to, and promptly took my package. From what I can tell, it's either that or it's still in transit, and it's just taking them a long time because it was sent during the holiday season, so it's very possible that it's still on the way. It's still a bummer though, because on the same day where it got delivered, when it got delivered, another one of my packages also got stolen on the same day, and that's also a bummer. Maybe less of it than the cosplay, but those were unfortunately gifts for my family, so I had to bring those a bit late, or I reordered them and get them back in here late. Shame, but you know, it happens. There we go. I think I got it working again. Do I got it going again? Let's see. Oh, where'd it go? So it would seem that there we go. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say it looked like OBS wasn't picking up on the game again, but there we go. We're back in. Let's see. For me, I've been playing around with the Neuro game SDK for these days. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, is that cool? I combined my next two sentences. Is that right? That sounds cool. What kind of things have you been trying with it? And what made you interested in using it? So yeah, back to my story while we wait for Sea Lantern to give us his response. TLDR, my cosplay for going around as myself, unfortunately, has disappeared. Big bummer, but it is what it is at the moment. It'd be like that. Hold on, you guys. I just got a notification on my phone real quick. I gotta check something. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. Bear with me for a second, Quokkalings, because I am getting a notification on something that's happening nearby. Bear with me for a second. I do need to check into this because it does potentially involve, I guess, local involvement. So hold on, give me 1 second here. Oh, okay. Okay, Quokkalings. It seems something has popped up. This is a bit serious. Okay. Something relatively serious has popped up at the moment. I'm so sorry, Quokkalings. It seems that I might actually have to cut the stream short today, just in case something happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the stream for today. My apologies, everybody. I don't want to cut off so quickly and so suddenly, but it would seem that this is actually rather important to take notice of. So to answer your question, Sea Lantern, I do know the VTuber Neurosama, and it sounds like you're trying to emulate the AI aspect of it. If so, that's awesome. Feel free to let me know on the Discord later. I want to hear about it because that sounds awesome. No worries, you can end stream if you need to go. I really don't want to, but I'm enjoying this, but it seems that it is something that does require my attention. So I'm gonna drop a little log off here. But yeah, hey Flash Viewer, welcome to the stream. I'm so sorry, my dude. Normally I'd be streaming for another 30 minutes to an hour, but there's something just literally came up that does require my immediate attention as far as action goes. So my apologies, Flash Viewer. Normally I wouldn't do something like this unless it was really important, and it does seem that in this case it is quite important that I do take into account what's happening. So it's a local thing. I'm sure it's fine, but I do need to be prepared in case something happens. So that's fine. I'll catch you next time. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, Quokkalings. Again, I'm so sorry to cut off the stream short, but something important has popped up. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of this week. I hope everything goes fine. Thank you so much. Me too. It would be a really rough start if something else happened the start of 2025 other than my stolen packages. So let's hope so. Thank you for the stream nonetheless. Thank you again for popping in, Sea Lantern and Flash Viewer. Everyone is here too. Ina, Demidog, and the rest. Thank you again. For those who are coming in a bit late, I again apologize, but hopefully we can play this again sometime soon. Maybe tomorrow, because you know I kind of want to make up for it if we are cutting it this short. So with that, I do hope you have a lovely rest of this week. Please take care, eat well, stay healthy, and don't forget to quack out, Quokkalings. All right? Okay, this is your head chef Nanashi quacking out for tonight. Otsukaresama desu. Mata ne. Terima kasih ya. Terima kasih.